Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Noblesville City Hall. I am Allie Krupski, and I am your Noblesville City Engineer, and I'm excited to be with you all tonight. This is a great project for the City of Noblesville, and we've done a lot of work with our design team in the last year and a half, really. Right now, I've got with me Mike Morovich, and he is the project manager of the entire corridor. He's with American Structure Point. And I have Robert Weinbrenner, and he is with CHA, and he is the environmental consultant on the entire corridor. In a few moments, we're going to get to a few words from Mayor Jensen, but before that, after that, we're going to do introductions, so Mayor Jensen's going to introduce you to all the key people on this project. We're also going to go through a brief history of the project, so to get you caught up to where we are now. Then after that, we will go through the Pleasant Street alignment. I know there's been a lot of questions in the past about where is this road going to go, and we are excited to finally be able to tell you where that is going to go and show you those impacts. After that, it will be the project development timeline. So when are you going to start seeing dirt moving? When are you going to see right-of-way acquisition starting? We'll be talking about all of that. And then at the very end, we are going to go to the other room, and we'll guide you there, and that's where you'll get to actually see hands-on exhibits of what the alignment looks like, where if you have a home along the alignment, you'll be able to see where the right-of-way line is on your property, and we'll be able to answer any questions that you guys might have. So without further ado, Mayor Jensen.
Thank you, Allie, and good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. This is an exciting project for the City of Noblesville. As Allie said, it's a transformative project for the City of Noblesville, and it is a project that we have talked about for a long time. I am sure some of you have actually been in several meetings about this project over the last decade, and we're really excited to bring this project to its ultimate start point here shortly. We have talked about the Pleasant Street extension and an east-west corridor in the City of Noblesville since 1987. It has been on our thoroughfare plan since 1995. And there's a reason why it's been on our thoroughfare plan since 1995. It is a very complex project. It's a project that has a lot of moving pieces and has major impacts on the future of the City of Noblesville. But I truly believe that it is a vital project for our city to move forward. It's a project that affects public safety. It's a project that affects our school system. It's a project that affects our neighbors and our friends all across the City of Noblesville. So goal number one with any project like this is transparency. We want to spend time with you tonight, one-on-one. We want to answer questions. But tonight is really just a starting point for many of us. We want to continue that dialogue over the next several months, weeks, years really, talking with you about the impacts of this project. With that in mind, I have business cards that have my personal cell phone on them. If you would like to have that, please just stop me at any point in time. I'd be happy to give that to you. I'm also excited tonight to launch a new website focused solely on the Pleasant Street project. It is reimaginepleasantst.com. It is also on Twitter at reimaginepleasantst. There you'll find key answers to questions that you may frequently ask, such as how do we fund a major project like this? When will Earth move? And Allie and the team will talk a little bit about that here shortly. You'll be able to find documents dating back really several decades that outline past meeting minute notes and project details there for you. When you came in, hopefully you received a business card here with a QR code that will lead you directly to the Pleasant Street website. Again, you'll find a lot of information there, but most importantly, if the information is not there, please ask. We cannot anticipate every question that you have, and so we want to hear directly from you. Reach out to myself, reach out to Allie, reach out to any member of the project team, and we can help direct you and get you answers to the questions that you have about this transformative project. Finally, I want to thank a few of our key partners. A project like this is not done in a vacuum. A project like this is certainly not done here just in City Hall. Just so for the overall information of the public, bridges in Hamilton County are the sole jurisdiction of our key partners at the Hamilton County Highway Department and our Hamilton County Commissioners. So Hamilton County is a major partner with us on this project, as there are bridges along this corridor, and they're key partners. I know Brad Davis, the Highway Director, and Jim Neal, our Highway Engineer, are here as well from Hamilton County. So thank you, gentlemen, for joining us tonight. You'll also see American Structure Point, CHA, A&F Engineering, Weintraub Associates, BF&S, and USI. Again, a project like this is not designed for government to complete. It's a project like this that we rely on many private sector partners to carry this to fruition, and we're excited to do that. So with that, I would like to turn it over to my friend Robert Weinbrenner, who will go over a brief project history, and I look forward to talking to all of you moving forward. Thanks. Robert?
As Mayor Jensen mentioned, this project spans fairly my whole lifetime at this point. We moved through the 90s doing a number of studies. You often hear about this has been studied to death. As a challenging project, we have quite a bit of backlog of information. So my job here is to lead the environmental investigation, document the environmental assessment, and look at all those pieces. So we take everything from those previous studies and bring them forward. In November 2019, Mayor Jensen was elected, and in January 2020, Pleasant Street was made #1 priority. You can see that we quickly moved from that point on, holding a community advisory committee meeting in July of 2020, and a few short weeks later, holding our first public information meeting. Then in October of 2020, we took all the information, these previous studies, the reassessment that we provided for the city to look at all the different alternatives, make sure we go back in the interest of the community, make sure we haven't missed anything, combine all that information so that when we come down to a preferred alternative, the selection we wanted to make, that we would have all the information available and it was updated and current. So we took all the previous information as well as a lot of modern information to reassess. At that point, we presented that information and got concurrence from NDOT in October 2020, and that is available in the alternative screening memo. And then we went on to present that to the Community Advisory Committee again in November of 2020. And now we're here with our second public information meeting to present that information here in March of 2021. Again, all this information is combined into environmental assessment that will be made available to you. As Mayor Jensen mentioned, a lot of the information we've used up to this point is also available. So if you don't find it, you're welcome to contact me. My information will actually be at the end of this presentation. It's also available in the handouts you may have received. If you didn't pick up a handout today, please ask that you catch Caitlin down there in the lobby. There's a lot of great information in there, including a comment sheet if you'd like to provide comment on the project. I want to point out one item on the environmental assessments. Probably the #1 question I get asked is, this looks like a large area. The environmental study area you see here and you see on some of our graphics is not going to necessarily represent the construction limits of a project. Environmental has to look out a little further. So you'll often see that further than you would see the actual line work of a project. And that's so that we can ensure that we encompass all the various environmental concerns that we might have on a project, including some of our ongoing studies on traffic noise, the hazardous materials investigations that are underway, and the historic resource consultation that is also underway. We have completed the waters and wetlands investigations and are actively coordinating with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and IDEM regarding the permits needed for those crossings, White River, Cicero, Elwood with some drain. That information is completed now. You can actually see some of that information on the boards in the next room where we have some of the exhibits. And again, this information is all going to be compiled. All the environmental investigations will be presented in an environmental assessment that we will provide. That'll be available to you again later in the year, and you can provide comment now all the way up through that period of time. If you have any particular questions about the environmental impacts, feel free to contact me. In terms of the specifics, construction limits, and the actual design, I'm going to go ahead and turn that over to Mike Morovich. He can give some more information here.
Thank you, Robert. So we're here to talk about Pleasant Street, which, as we mentioned, is the preferred alternative. And if you've been following us, coming to some of the other public information meetings, or reviewing the documents online, like the alternatives analysis that Robert mentioned, this is what we were calling Alternative B1. It's different from another Pleasant Street alternative that we called Alternative B. This is a refinement that we did to minimize the impacts to the Plum Prairie Historic District. The Pleasant Street alignment connects State Road 32 to 19th Street to provide traffic congestion relief for Connor Street and State Road 32 through downtown Noblesville. The project alignment will require a new roadway to be constructed, as you can see on the orange line, from State Road 32 at the intersection of Hague Road and State Road 32, new alignment until it intersects with 8th Street. Along existing 8th Street and Pleasant Street will be reconstructed and widening of the existing Pleasant Street and 8th Street roadways. The speed limit along the corridor is 30 miles an hour. It will be 25 miles an hour in the more of the built-up area from 6th Street to 11th Street. The project also offers an opportunity for trail connectivity. The Midland Trace Trail will be extended through the project limits. It'll connect to the Riverwalk Trail, and it'll connect to the future Nickel Plate Trail. This will be a roundabout corridor roadway, so there are roundabouts proposed at State Road 32, River Road. There's 2 roundabouts on 8th Street, a roundabout at 10th Street, and 19th Street is currently not included in the limits of the project because the city is studying improvements at Pleasant Street and State Road 37. So any improvements to 19th Street are being studied as part of that project, so it's currently not included. Anything east of 19th Street is included in that study for a different project. But ultimately, the roadway will provide connectivity from State Road 32 to State Road 37. This is not a major interstate highway that's going to be going through the city of Noblesville. We call this more of a boulevard style typical section. So the typical is what you get if you were to slice the roadway in a section and look at it through the middle, kind of like a loaf of bread after you slice it. We've got 3 different typical sections along Pleasant Street. Number 1 is from State Road 32 to 8th Street. That's 1 lane in each direction with a raised median. And then the Midland Trace Trail runs along the north side of the road. From 8th Street to 11th Street, we will have 2 lanes in each direction. The raised median will be a little bit narrower, and we'll have sidewalks on either side of the road. 11th Street to 19th Street will also be 2 lanes in each direction. The raised median will be wider, and in some locations, maybe a left turn lane. The Midland Trace Trail will be on the north side of the road, and a sidewalk on the south side of the road. And again, I think Allie mentioned that we have many more details about the project available in the handouts, but we also have big maps in the other room. So after this presentation, we encourage everybody to come into that other room and look at those big maps, see the actual details of the preliminary design and the impacts of the project, and you can ask us questions. And now we're going to talk about construction phasing, so I'm going to hand it back over to Allie.
Thanks, Mike. As you all might be aware, this is a very large project for the city of Noblesville. It will be done in phases, and the main priority of this project, the whole corridor is a priority, but a big part of that is phase 1, and so we really need a White River crossing in the city of Noblesville. So phase 1 is going to be effectively from 11th Street to River Road, and that is going to have a bid opening in the fall of 2022 with construction in 2023 and into 2024. Phases 2 and 3 will be constructed concurrently, and so phase 2 is from 11th Street to 19th Street, and as Mike said, that does not include any modifications to the 19th Street roundabout, and that will have a bid opening in the fall of 2023, and then construction in 2024 and 2025. And then phase 3 is from State Road 32, Hague intersection to River Road, and that will have a bid opening in 2023 with construction in 2024 and 2025 as well. I'm sure a lot of you are wondering what our next steps are. I think Mayor Jensen put it very well. We want to communicate with you guys. So any questions, comments, concerns, after looking at the exhibits, a week from today, a month from today, please contact us. Please reach out to us. Our contact information is all over the website, all over the New Pleasant Street website, and all over the city's website. Please reach out to us. The next 2 years, we will be finalizing design. And so by the fall of 2022, that's when we plan to go to bid. So obviously at that point, phase 1 is done, or starting under construction, and then we'll still be in design for phases 2 and 3. Geotechnical and utility investigations, that'll be going on throughout this summer. Property acquisition, so if you are impacted by this property, which you should, if you are impacted by this property, you should have already received a letter from the city of Noblesville stating that you do have impacts. If you did not receive that letter, please come talk to us, because we did mail them to everybody along the entire corridor, not just phase 1. So please come talk to us. We definitely want to get those meetings going as soon as we can. But you will probably be reached out to if you are impacted by an appraiser sometime this summer or this fall. And that's for phase 1. Let me clarify that. Sorry, just for phase 1 construction that you will be reached out to this summer or this fall. The completion of the environmental assessment will be in 2022. And then again, just to re-emphasize the one-on-one meetings, we have sent 110 letters to property owners throughout the entire corridor. We've already held 28 member meetings with people that are impacted. And whether you are an impacted property owner or just a citizen that wants to know about the project, please reach out to us because we'd love to communicate with you about this project. So from this meeting, it's already been mentioned a couple times, we are going to exit right outside these doors and you are going to head to your right. And there will be some people to help lead you into the room that we're going to go in. There will be exhibits. I think there's three or four different areas where you can, thank you, Jim. There are 4 different areas where you can stand around talking to members of the design team. We have our whole design team here to answer questions for you and make sure you get the information that you need from us today. Just wrapping up, this is more information for you guys you can take a picture of this, but honestly, it should be in your materials that you guys also received, and then going to the website, so keep this handy. This will have all this information on as well as the recorded presentation and also the documentation that you guys have now. So thank you all very much for your time tonight, and we will all head over to the A213 and A214 conference rooms. Thank you.